Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing today? We have another episode for you today on a D. Elliott Fitness live stream channel. Thank you for tuning in if you're watching. And if you could click the like button before we even get started to get this message out here and keep the algorithm going. Today we're on the topic of semen retention again. And this time we're going to talk about the sexual instinct and explaining it and give you a better understanding on how it works and what it's used for. So, without further ado, we're going to give a shout out for In Search of Meaning and using the video from um, one of their videos, Fair Use, and go check them out if you're interested in this video. So, let's not really take too much talking and on the introduction and let's get straight to it. Alrighty, let's see.
During sexual activity, a significant amount of energy is expended, leading to supposed health issues like bad memory, premature aging, impotence, eye diseases, and nervous disorders. Today, there's a distressing observation about the youth. They can be seen as lacking vitality, walking unsteadily with pale faces instead of being vibrant, lively, and energetic. Some individuals are so addicted to sex and pornography that even thoughts or encounters with the opposite gender result in involuntary semen discharge, portraying a pitiable state. What unfolds before us in this era is a profound immersion in a sea of impure thoughts, unchecked lustful desires, and fleeting sensual pleasures. It's a lamentable reality indeed. Their experiences are deeply troubling, affecting not just their physical health, but also taking a toll on their emotional state. It's a situation.
That actually sounds like what's going on in today's world. Because with the way the world is nowadays, as far as the economic downturn that we're in, the hedonism rising, and the decisions that people are making just to make ends meet or to be independent and stand on their own, you can see these things play in our society, and everybody's trying to find a way out, how to escape it, how to better themselves, how to get ahead, how to get some kind of advantage going on, but nobody's looking within. Everybody's looking without and doing all sorts of things, men and women, that is really decimating themselves from within and not realizing the external effect that it has on them. But let's keep going.
Situation that leads them into a state of despair, plunging them into episodes of depression. This loss of semen seems to go beyond the physical aspect. It impairs their mental clarity, affecting their capacity to make sound decisions. It also activates their social anxiety and destroys their self-confidence. What perplexes me most is this. Why surrender the hard-earned energy accrued over weeks and months for the fleeting allure of momentary sensual pleasures? It's a question that resonates deeply, a question that beckons reflection upon the choices we make in pursuit of immediate gratification.
Yeah, but it's a question that nobody seems to want to ask, especially in a means of instant gratification with today, the world that we live in. Nobody wants a delayed gratification. You want an instant gratification. And with the hedonism at an all-time high, a instant pleasure release, whether it comes from personal interactions or on-screen interactions, which seems it's really easy to get in contact with one another and have some kind of sexual release, however you get it. Either you do it personally, looking on a screen, or meeting up with someone. That right there within itself gives everybody that immediate gratification that they want and that they need to pleasure themselves. But on the back end, it's causing a world of trouble and consequences and dread on the back end that nobody seems to be looking in or tapping into. And only a few will see it, and the few that do see it can take advantage of it or use it to their benefit, while the rest fall victim and be a killer to them own selves. Let's keep going.
In the early stages of life, passion lies dormant, akin to a seed waiting for the right conditions to sprout. In the innocence of childhood, it remains unobtrusive, causing no disturbance. Much like how a tree resides within a seed before its growth, passion exists in a latent state within the minds of children. As individuals mature, the dynamics of passion undergo a transformation. In the elderly, this force tends to recede, losing its potential to cause significant disruption. However, it's in the transitional phase of adolescence, in young men and women, that this force becomes pronounced and at times troublesome. It's during this period that individuals grapple with the intensity of these burgeoning emotions. They find themselves at the mercy of passion, often feeling powerless to its influence. The transition into puberty marks a significant turning point. There's a dramatic shift in feelings, gestures, physique, mannerisms, and even in the way one communicates. The very essence of a person seems to undergo a profound metamorphosis during this phase. What once seemed subtle and unnoticeable suddenly becomes vivid and palpable, much like how an entire mango tree with its branches, leaves, and fruits resides in the subtle form within a seed before its manifestation. A similar concept applies to the vasana of lust in our minds. In the journey from boyhood to adolescence and adulthood, this dormant force gradually takes shape. At 18, it begins to surface, and by 25, it fills our entire being. It's during this phase that this potent force wreaks havoc, leading individuals into various forms of wrongdoing and mischief. This period, from 25 to 45, is deemed the most critical in our lives, where the manifestations of this force are most pronounced. Now consider the act itself, the sexual act. It's an occurrence that reverberates through our nervous system, shaking it to its core. The intensity of this experience results in an excessive loss of energy, particularly during coition. However, there's a significant distinction when emission occurs during the dreaming state, often referred to as a wet dream. During a wet dream, it's essential to note that the outflow might primarily involve the prostatic juice, with only a fraction of semen. This nocturnal emission doesn't drain as significantly as a conscious sexual act does. The essence remains within. It's not entirely depleted. What's fascinating is the suddenness of this occurrence. When a nocturnal emission takes place, the mind, which was previously functioning within the inner astral body, swiftly re-enters the physical body in a state of agitation. This abrupt re-entry into the physical realm is why nocturnal emissions happen suddenly and without conscious control. While a night discharge may not necessarily stoke the fires of sexual desire, the voluntary act of copulation or masturbation, especially for a sincere spiritual seeker, holds significant implications. The imprint left by such an act creates a deep mental impression that resonates within the subconscious.
See, and that right there within itself will tell you, because everybody can tell, if you can see, that the warfare that's happening right now, it's on a deeper level. It's a spiritual warfare. And it's hindering everybody who's not aware of what's going on. Because everybody's so fixed and focused on for relationships and which are things that are good to harness and good to have, but you're deeming them in the wrong way is how it's being perpetuated as far as the media goes. Because it's like you can't escape some sort of sexual innuendo that goes on throughout the day, whether it be social media, an ad, or something, or going to the gym. You're gonna see something that's stimulating and that's over sexualized. And whenever you see stuff like that, you're not real we don't really realize the warfare that we're putting up with at all times. It's constantly hindering our spirit, the deeper meaning, the deeper fight that we're up against. And the only way to battle it is to conquer oneself. But let's keep going.
It's like pouring oil into a fire that is slowly waning. Instead of aiding its extinction, it reignites the flames. The arduous task of erasing this new impression becomes an uphill battle. To obliterate this newly formed imprint demands immense effort and resolve. Hence, the counsel is clear. Renounce voluntary ejaculation entirely. Understand, however, that the mind, ever cunning, will attempt to deceive you in myriad ways, offering enticing justifications. Remain vigilant. Refrain from succumbing to its misleading thoughts. Instead, attune yourself to the voice of conscience, the soul, or the discerning voice within.
That's why they always say that your thoughts are the main things that you have to be in line with. If your thoughts are bad, then you lose the whole battle. You lose it all. The thoughts are what you need to be in line with. If you can align yourself with your thoughts, then everything else you should be able to align yourself with your thoughts, and then your thoughts become your words become your actions then turn into your habits, and so on and so forth. So your thoughts are the main thing that you want to be in alignment with. You have pure thoughts, no thoughts of anything negative, and have good intentions, then this can be defeated, and you can be on a different level, a different plane, a different vibration. But it's only a path that you'll be able to do alone and by yourself. But let's keep going.
What begins as a mild desire gains potency through repetition, through frequent indulgence or enjoyment. It's this repetition that transforms a seemingly innocuous desire into a fervent, all-consuming passion. Passion, in its widest sense, embodies any strong desire, an intense enthusiasm that drives diverse endeavors. Think about the dedicated passion displayed by patriots serving their country, or the relentless commitment of seekers striving for spiritual enlightenment. For some, it's an impassioned dive into literature, while others find their fervor in religious texts. Yet, in our everyday language, passion is often equated with lust or an insatiable sexual appetite. This inclination represents a physical craving, a fervent yearning for sexual or carnal satisfaction. When indulged frequently, this desire intensifies, becoming increasingly powerful. The sexual or reproductive instinct inherent in humanity drives individuals towards engaging in sexual acts, a primal, involuntary urge aimed at the preservation of our species.
It's a primal, involuntary urge. So falling victim to this urge, you know better than an animal at the end of the day. And understanding how powerful sex is, which is something that we're not taught about, or nor do we understand once you sit down and understand the power of sex and being able to retain yourself and navigate your life in a way where sex is not controlling you, but you know how to control it. Kind of like Elon Musk even said this. A lot of energy, a lot of thought has been wasted on the topic of sex. A lot of time, a lot of thoughts have been wasted on sex without the act of procreation. And sex should only be used for procreation. And then if you're not using it for procreation, you're wasting a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of resources within yourself that you could use to channel to a different direction in life and completely change the trajectory of your actual life. So it's you that's hindering it, which then in turn makes sense now when you look hindsight on how the world's being dictated, how things are being pushed and propagandized. It makes sense. Because if you had any ill will or evil intention towards the world, then you would use one of the most powerful forces in the world, which is sex. But everybody is not very understanding on how sex is supposed to be used. We use it as, we use it just like a vice, you know. When you want to get high or go smoke or drink or something, it's used as a vice, or it's used as a weapon of manipulation, but never as what it's represented to be used for, which is procreation or internal change from within. And if it is used for procreation, then the outcome of the procreation then becomes weaponized, and the family structure is doomed. Let's keep going.
It's an instinct deeply embedded within us, urging us towards self-preservation and the perpetuation of our lineage. However, it's important to recognize that this passion, this instinctive urge for externalization through self-preservation and multiplication, stands in opposition to another force within us, the force that moves towards integration and unity of being. Understanding this dichotomy, this interplay between the instinctual urge for self-preservation and the innate drive towards integration, is crucial in comprehending the complexity of human nature. Passion, as we know it, is an effect, a consequence of avidya, a negative distortion within the mind. It's crucial to recognize that the Atman, the eternal self, remains ever pure, untouched by these distortions. Atman is inherently immaculate, devoid of any distortions or changes. It's eternal and eternally pure. Even Brahma, the creator, is unable to pinpoint the exact locus of passion. Passion, this desire, permeates every corner of our being. It resides in every cell, molecule, electron, saturating our very essence. The ocean of passion is vast and intricate, filled with undercurrents, cross-currents, intercurrents, and even submarine currents. It's a force that surges within us, unseen yet profoundly impactful. The call here is for total annihilation, complete eradication of each manifestation of passion. It's a call to obliterate these currents wherever they reside, to cleanse ourselves entirely of this force. Passion draws its strength from different aspects of our lives, whether it's the food we eat or our lifestyle. Scrolling on social media, watching pornography, having conversations centered on sensual matters, association with negative company, the allure of liquor and intoxicants. These elements ignite the flames of passion within. To confront this formidable adversary, lust, hidden within the recesses of our hearts, requires meticulous exploration. Much like a fox concealed within the thicket, lust hides deep within the substratum and corners of our minds. The senses are notoriously turbulent, akin to a powerful virus being besieged on all fronts by a doctor using diverse methods such as inunction, injections, mixtures, and powders to combat the ailment. Similarly, reining in the senses demands a multifaceted approach: fasting, dietary restrictions, pranayama, meditation, self-inquiry, withdrawal of senses, self-restraint, mastery over thoughts, and the annihilation of harmful tendencies.
All of those things he just named out are ways to help conquer the detrimental effects of lust. Because once you start thinking about it, I mean, and if you've already had the feeling, you know what it feels like and everything, it just builds up in you. And then if you turn on your phone, you can see it with ease, no problem. But it takes all of that meditation, positive thinking, self-inquiry, fasting, prayer, all these things it takes to defeat the lust within oneself. But as you're on that path defeating your lust, hopefully also you do physical activity as well as prayer, meditation, and put together, and fasting as well. You put together all these things at once to help generate a vessel for the energy to flow, the seed to flow through your body in a proper way, so you can use that electric energy within yourself in a positive way and not let it use you in a negative way. Let's continue.
Let's confront a grave error, one that lulls us into a false sense of security, making us believe that we've vanquished lust simply because we've led a solitary life for a span of years or experienced fleeting moments of serenity or purity. Do not be deceived into thinking that by tweaking your diet and practicing pranayama, you've completely uprooted lust from your being. Temptation can strike at any moment.
It's impossible.
Eternal vigilance and unwavering commitment to rigorous spiritual practice are imperative. Beware of falling into the trap of complacency, believing that your modest strides in self-control and celibacy render you immune to tests and trials. The truth is far more demanding. To combat this powerful adversary, lust demands relentless discipline. It's a constant, vigorous, and unwavering practice and dedication to semen retention that holds the key to annihilating this potent enemy. Do not
See, so this conquering of lust is harder than any addiction that you can really ever have. A sugar addiction, smoking addiction, drinking addiction. This one, and we're not even like told about it. We're really never even given any information on it. You have to seek and find this for yourself to know that how powerful this is and to actually put it into practice, because nobody takes it seriously. Nobody really takes this seriously. It's a very small percentage of people who do and who would actually practice it and to use it to their advantage and see the actual power that it beholds. But let's continue.
let pride cloud your judgment for your meager achievements in celibacy. If put to the test, overconfidence will lead to inevitable failure. Instead, maintain a vigilant awareness of your limitations and persistently strive to overcome them. Only through the highest level of effort, unceasing dedication, and unwavering commitment can one hope to achieve success in this arduous pursuit. This battle demands continual effort, an unrelenting commitment to spiritual growth, and an ever humble recognition of our limitations. It's said that taming a wild tiger or a lion, playing with a cobra, or even emerging victorious in battle seems easier than eradicating lust.
Sheesh.
Throughout the evolutionary journey, the instinctive drive for reproduction and expansion has thrived through the ages solely through the power of lust. Despite all attempts at control, this potent force persistently attempts to resurface, seeking to overwhelm the aspirant. Yet, in the face of this daunting adversary, there's no need for despair. Place your unwavering faith in God. Only through His grace can lust be completely uprooted from the mind. Trust in Him. Success is inevitable for those who have faith. With His grace, lust can be eradicated in an instant. The divine power enables the mute to speak and the lame to climb steep hills. Human effort alone isn't sufficient. Divine grace is indispensable.
And if lust is that powerful, the powers that be have unloaded a barrage of a serious spiritual attack on all of us. And a lot of us don't even see it. I mean, they said that, what did they say, fighting a cobra and different kind of snakes and all these animals, those are more difficult than conquering lust. And what it takes to defeat and conquer lust, of course, fleeing lust is one of the main ways, but it takes implicit obedience, consistent, diligent effort, because it's not going away. It don't stop. We see it every day. Go to the grocery store. What are you going to see? You're going to see something that's going to trigger your lustful thoughts. Go to the gym. You're going to see the same thing. Go on your social media feed. Even if you are not the type of person to look at things like that, you're still going to get some kind of glimpse of it. An ad on the computer or the internet or on TV. Something, somewhere. You're going to be exposed to this. Even if you've been doing good for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, semen retention. I mean, it's no different than it's a natural urge. So the relapse is gonna try to attack you. It's gonna come, you know. But just how powerful it is, and to see how hedonistic the world is, it's crazy to have to understand how much under attack we really are, and to understand that the only way to defend yourself is to restrain yourself from within. But let's continue.
Remember, God aids those who actively seek to help themselves. Regular meditation, a pure diet, spiritual work, the practice of pranayama, all these practices can entirely annihilate lust. No matter how potent the old impressions and tendencies might be, the positive always prevails over the negative. Never be disheartened. Dive earnestly into meditation, confront this internal enemy, and emerge victorious in this struggle. The redirection of this potent energy requires constant and prolonged practices of sublimation, vital for channeling the force of sex energy into the spiritual realm. Attaining perfect purity in thought, speech, and action demands unwavering patience, vigilant awareness, unwavering perseverance. The path to purity demands consistent and persistent efforts. It's a journey that unfolds gradually, not achieved in mere days or weeks. Lust, undoubtedly, wields formidable power, serving as a relentless adversary. Yogic practices and meditation serve to weaken the force of sexual desire significantly. However, complete obliteration of this desire and its underlying imprints can only be achieved through self-realization. The sexual urge finds restraint when inspired by lofty spiritual ideals. By redirecting this energy to higher spiritual planes, it can be transformed into divine energy, a force of immense spiritual potential. However, the complete eradication of lust transcends personal effort. It's a realm achievable only through the grace of the divine.
Well, all right. That right there wraps up today's topic. And to understanding the power that is within that particular topic in semen retention, and understanding that it doesn't take days or weeks, it's going to take months, maybe even years, because there's no telling how much damage has been done. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different walk, a different journey in life. We've all done different things. We all have different vices. We all have a different diet, workout. Everything is different. So, how we put into practice and how consistent we are with this and how deep we dive into it is going to vary from person to person. But at the end of the day, the effort, the consistency, and the implicit obedience is got to be there. And you take the time and give the diligent effort, looking at the world that we live in today, as far as economics, hedonism, fear, living in struggle mode or always living in survival mode is what I mean to say. Those things are low vibration, low frequencies, and you can rise above it, but nobody knows how. Everybody's looking, what's the best way, the quickest way to make a buck and make money. Don't get me wrong, money is important in this world that we live in. But in order for you to rise above it and to catapult yourself to different heights, it's going to have to take a deep, deep dive internally because nobody tells you to look within. We're always looking without. Because every time we turn on the phone or look at something, we're trying to be sold something. There's a salesman selling us something everywhere we go. Every time you turn around, you're being sold something, but you're not looking within yourself to realize that you don't need to be sold nothing. Your soul is the thing that needs to be tend to more than anything. Tend to the soul, tend to your internal state, because that's the battle that's never going away. You got that battle every single day, and it doesn't stop. But you have to learn how to conquer it. Change the internal state of you, and your external state will change. Everybody can be on this journey together. Sometimes people will relapse on it, but you got to stay diligent, stay tough, and stay strong. Because momentum, once you have that momentum going, you got to thrive and you got to push on that momentum and never look back because it's got to catapult you to newer heights. So, with that being said, hopefully this reached somebody. Hopefully somebody hears this. Click the like button to get this message out because a lot of people need to hear it. A lot of people won't, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. But until next time, let's hope to see you on the next live stream. Out of here. Peace.